There we are. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels. We're everywhere. I'm Mike Morales here in sunny Southern California. That gentleman out there is
Eric Zandona in Vancouver, Washington.
Eric, and I are going to have the distinct pleasure of breaking down and dissecting Aguamiel. Now, if this looks familiar to you, it's because Eric and I tasted and dissected the Blanco and really enjoyed it. It was a Brand of Promise nominee in 2019.
Yeah.
Did really stellar. I mean, it missed it by that much, but 2019 was a very difficult scoring and judging year because there were so many Blancos that year.
Tough crowd.
But this is the Reposado. So I'm kind of anxious to give this a shot. I just off camera broke the seal on mine. And it's Aguamiel Sangre del Agave. That must be the full name.
Yeah.
It looks really dark for a Repo.
I don't know. It's got a nice like golden color to it. Maybe a touch, but I don't know. Got a nice like golden hay.
Yeah, I think we nominated it also. I think in packaging, and we really enjoyed the packaging. Is very similar to the Blanco. It's clean. It's if you look on their website, we didn't get any sell sheet information or what we call point of sale material for the Repo. I have for the Blanco 2 years ago, but that's not going to help us with this one. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pour some. I think we should just pour it, taste it, and see what's up with this.
I agree.
If it's anywhere close to the Blanco, I think we're going to be really happy with it. So you're using a Glencairn. I'm using my Stasel Jarrito.
Yeah, I hear those are good.
I know. I promise I will send them to you this year somewhere. I have them in a box.
I think you get a pass on the pandemic year. So that's
well, no, I should have. You should have this a long time ago. I have to actually get you and Felipe a set of these that I have apart. Yeah. It's just a matter of risking my life and going to the post office because that's basically what it boils down to, folks. Right. By the way, this is inauguration day when we're filming this, but it's probably February by the time you guys get around to it. So hopefully we've all had our shots by then.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. So I like the color. It looks much lighter, I think, in the glass than it does.
I usually like with spirits when you pour it into a glass, something about the smaller volume, it lightens up usually. So.
Okay. Yeah, I know sometimes in some of the bottles that we've had, if the label is red, it kind of darkens the juice on the inside, and it gives that illusion of it being darker than it really is. And nice legs and tears, though.
Yeah,
pretty, very pretty. I'm not sure if you folks can see that. I've got my lighting as turned up as I possibly can in here.
Yeah.
What are you getting on the nose? Am I getting anything here?
Yeah, for me, there's a touch of like alcohol, but then there's also some nice agave, like green agave notes.
Okay.
And a little bit of vanilla.
Down at the bottom.
It's nice. It's nice overall, but it's a little bit weak, and that might just be due to it being at 40%. If it was at like 43, or maybe the agave character would be more intense.
You mean more like that Rejon we had last year?
Yeah.
I'm in love with that juice, man. That is some stellar stuff.
But it's got a really nice aroma to it. It doesn't like there's no artificial character or anything like, no alarm bells going off. It's a really pleasant aroma of agave and a little bit of barrel.
It is opening up for me now. I mean, these bottles, both Eric and I just broke the seal on ours because we've had this for a couple of weeks here at room temp, of course. But and now that it's opening up, I'm getting more of what you're sensing, the caramel, maybe even a touch of honey. I'm not sure, but yeah, the alcohol is pleasant. I mean, I know that people are making a lot of when it comes to agave spirits, alcohol is necessary because it presents the plant itself. It's it isn't like a Scotch where if you have the alcohol there, it's just gonna, you get the nose burn. Alcohol, I think for agave spirits, maybe not for all spirits, but I think it's much more important to have even a little bit of it, just to present the smell, the aromas.
Yeah, but generally just really nice, really, really pleasant.
Yeah, I think we really enjoyed the Blanco too. I think the Blanco had a little bit more of the plant.
Probably, yeah. But.
Yeah, on this side, I'm getting a lot more of the caramel and the wood notes, but they're more like they're light, like baking spices almost.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice,
like
right
some
here.
Citrus. There's some sort of your traditional agave aromas. So.
Well, let's dive in, shall we?
Yeah.
Ooh. Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, it keeps going.
Yeah. It's nice finish too.
Yeah. That's really interesting. So, I think it's an interesting ride on the palate because it starts off, you get a lot of like upfront agave character, some of that green, fruity, like citrus, pepper, definitely some pepper there. And then like mid palate, it kind of dies, it like disappears. And then at the very end, there's this like burst of caramel. And so that was it's a little bit of a roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster.
The beginning, really liked it. Middle kind of fell apart. The end is nice as for the Reposado. But the beginning flavor is really good.
It reminded me of why we like the Blanco so much.
Yeah.
Because I think the Blanco was full of pepper. It was really bold. I remember liking it a lot because it was just, we knew it was going to stand out in a cocktail on the rocks, tequila and soda. I mean, it's very, there was a lot going on this thing. But the sad part is, folks, when we look at the information, it's not telling us anything. No. The website is completely vacuous. Like a couple of my ex-wives. But I digress. Anyway, so there, we don't know anything. It tells us that they are waiting for ripe plants. They have to be 8 years old before they harvest them. Probably back in 2019, there were still 8-year-old plants around. There aren't any anymore. The sad reality is that they're anything 4 or 5 years old is being snatched up, being pulled out of the ground quickly. So I imagine that this is maybe old juice. It's old, that's been sitting in a barrel. Now we don't know what kind of barrels they're using either. It's not telling us anything, folks.
Yeah.
What would you say the barrel would be? Do you think it's a whiskey barrel or a bourbon?
I mean, the most likely, the least expensive barrel they're gonna find is a ex-bourbon barrel, ex-Tennessee whiskey barrel, right? Jack Daniel's produces millions and millions of gallons of whiskey a year. Those barrels got to go somewhere, and so it's most likely that. That's my guess. But I think they did a good job. It's not, it's like the wood's not overpowering. They get some nice character out of it. I think on its own, it's a little bit underwhelming, but I think the flavor profile is really nice. The alcohol level is strong enough that in a margarita or some other cocktail, you're not going to notice the kind of weak middle part on its own, but the flavor is going to come through and you're going to be perfectly happy, right? So, and that's, I think, really the target market. They're not gonna be going for the people who want to just sip tequila neat, right?
Right.
The branding and all of that is geared towards people who want to make cocktails, whether that's a margarita or something else. Um, and I think it'll do well in that. So in that
Yeah.
regard, and the price is set right for that. So,
What was the pricing that you found?
so the pricing I found was $36.99, so $37.
Okay.
So it's a good price. It's easy. Like if somebody's interested in, getting a reposado for their, margaritas for their home bar, it's going to be an easy price point for people to pick up. It's not going to be, the price is probably not going to put too many people off.
No. And like you said, I think the market that they're after, they want to, they're really emphasizing the lifestyle, and it's really interesting because a lot of these brands that compete in that price point
Mhm.
um, have very similar uh, images that they portray. It's about walking on the beach with a bottle and your ass showing, and you know all the marketing is the
Right.
same. It's after a while they all look the same.
Yeah.
But this slips right in. I
Yeah.
mean, it's one of those brands where you can go, well, I'm looking for Casamigos. Well, let's try something new. Oh, well, let's try this. It's priced the same,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And and
And the upside is it tastes pretty good.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So what would you say? I think it's a solid brand of promise, don't you think?
yeah, I think so. Definitely for the like intro tequila market, it's solid. Solid nominee.
Yeah, I agree. And like I say, I like the branding. What they've
Yeah.
done. We did nominate the Blancos, so the
Mhm.
Repo is falls right in line. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. So, um,
Got a
and
little gold
they,
dot on the
oh
front
yeah,
top. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be.
I think it's a drop or an agave. I'm not sure. Oh, it's
I think it's
Aguamiel.
a
Yeah,
drop,
it's the
but
blood. It's a
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
yeah,
blood.
because it's called sangre del agave. So
Yeah.
that's a drop of aguamiel sap. Aguamiel is honey water, and that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
that's what turns into before you ferment. Now this is signed by people, but I don't know if that's the master distiller. I
Yeah,
again,
there's two little signatures. One's just a curly Q,
yeah,
and then the other is this T and who knows what else.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It is coming out of a gnome 1438, which we were
It is
looking.
kosher.
Yes, it is kosher, folks. So that's good.
Yeah.
For those of you who are looking for that kind of that market, it's a $2 billion market. So look for it.
Yeah.
1438 has a lot of brands that come out of it. It's a very large maquiladora. We've had Vivir from there last year. We
Mhm.
had 21 Seeds from there. Some really stellar brands that come out of that
Yeah.
tequila. So it reminds me a lot of the Cofradia where Casa Noble is made. It's just it seems to be a very reputable
Yeah.
maquiladora. Nueve B is one I've been looking for, and I think that's Europe only. I think it's in the UK only. So there are a lot of brands that come out of there that are stellar. Vivira loved it.
Yeah.
Vivira was
They know
good.
what they're doing. I think the producer end is solid. And the pricing I think is going to be set well for people who are interested. So
Okay. Yeah. Well, then it's a solid brand of promise nominee. I don't think there's nothing off-putting on it. It's
yeah.
a it's probably not the kind of sipping tequila that you and I are probably used to, but
Right.
it's not supposed to be, right?
Right.
That's not its thing.
Yeah.
So that's our take on Aguamiel Sangre del Agave tequila. I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio, or excuse me, not in San Antonio anymore. I'm here in Southern California. Where the hell am I? I'm not sure. I have to look at my GPS. But anyway, it's hot in here, and that gentleman out there is.
Eric Zandona in Vancouver, Washington.
Oh my God, you've been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff and listening to me ramble. on Tequila Aficionado on all of our channels and networks. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. Every time we upload a video, you're going to be notified, especially when Eric's on, because they listen to you, they won't listen to me. If you're listening to us on our podcast, if wherever you download your podcast on Spotify or iTunes, check it out. But whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.